Welcome to the underground, you rebel scum. This is the American Expat. Well, I'm so excited because I am on my way to pick up an SLR camera, an old film camera, and there's not a lot of options here when it comes to getting this sort of thing because there's no camera shops or anything. I mean, the best option I have for anything camera related is Best Buy. And, well, they don't have film cameras. Nobody does. So this is kind of exciting. This is a new-to-me camera. It's from the 1970s, of course. It's not new at all, but I'm excited. You know, it's been a long time since I used a film camera. And the only film cameras that I ever had, you know, back when I was using a film camera, was like a point-and-click sort of thing. No worrying about exposure or anything like that. It was all automatic. So I'm going to have some figuring out to do when I actually get my hands on this. It's going to be, I'm excited for it. I don't want to really waste a whole bunch of film, but you know, I'm kind of excited about figuring this thing out. I wish the camera was a little bit closer to where I live, but it's about 45 miles, 47 miles. I guess it's closer to 50 miles than 40 miles, but yeah. I got to drive a little ways to get it. Again, beggars can't be choosers. There's no camera shops. There's none of that around here. There was somebody that was selling it in the city where I'm at, but, you know, they don't respond to messages. Plus, that one was more expensive. This one is, well, I think better looking and much cheaper. Well, I guess I'll know when I see it in person. Okay, I made the purchase. I got the camera. This thing is heavy, let me tell you. It's it's pretty solid compared to the Sony a7 IV, which I believe is, in a way, its descendant. Sony started the Alpha line, I believe, by purchasing Minolta and some of the technology that they had. But obviously this is not digital in any way. I don't know how to expose. I think I mentioned that earlier. I'm going to have to figure that out. You know, these digital SLRs, the mirrorless cameras, they have so much information they give you. I mean, it's easy to expose for whatever, you know, even on manual mode. This, I don't know, it's got a little thing that you can move around that moves up and down. I assume that has something to do with exposure. I don't know, but I'm excited to try this out. I wanted to rush home and start figuring things out, but I had to stop and take a look at this thing. I'm just so excited to have this. I know this is like, it's not a special camera or anything, but, you know, still, there's nothing around here, as I mentioned before, as far as like camera shops or anything. If I go into any place that's going to have cameras, the best that they're going to have is some old digital, like a DSLR or something, you know, that I'm not really interested in because, well, they're outdated. That's the thing with this. It doesn't really get outdated. I mean, it does what it does. As long as there is film, this camera will still be able to take photos. I mean, assuming that I don't break it. Apparently, it still works. I'm able to, you know, this does not show that it works. I'm just, you know, moving the lens around and focusing stuff. I'm almost as excited about the lens as I am about the camera itself. I'm going to have to find a way to fit this lens onto my Sony a7 IV here, just for the heck of it. I mean, it's not, I don't know, just for whatever, just for fun. Put the old 1970s lens on it. The guy that I bought it from, apparently he's owned it since it was brand new. He picked it up at the store. It came with this this teleconverter, 2x teleconverter, that's probably just as old. Apparently this came from a Kmart at some point for $34.88, something along those lines. Just, wow, you know. I don't know what this does exactly, but, or any of it. I've also got these, what are they, little macro things here that are apparently, he thinks, maybe worth more than the camera itself because of the brand they are. It's this Teflon thing, so that'll be interesting. Like I said, I'm excited about this, if you can tell. I can't wait to try it out. I'm going to have to get a lens cap for this, but yeah, this should be fun. I better get home so that I have time to figure this out before I have to pick up my son. Yeah, I'm gonna head home now. And we're back with the camera. I've also got film. What I don't got is a way to, I guess, develop the film. I've looked into that. Apparently, you can still drop your film off at Walmart. You can take it to CVS and other such places, but they don't actually do anything there. They send it off to some third party, and you get your pictures. You don't get the film back. You get the pictures back like 3 weeks later, something like that. The days of the 1 hour photo are long, long gone. And the worst part about it, though, is that while you do get your photos printed, which isn't exactly what I'd want. Sorry, I'm adjusting that. You can't. They don't send you the negatives. So you can take. There's a bunch of places online where you can send your film to be developed, and they'll send you the negatives and such. But the closest one is the next state away. It's so crazy to me. Just thinking about that. That it used to be there was these photo places everywhere. And now it's all gone. I don't even know when it went away. I mean, I guess it disappeared while I was in China. I don't know what else, when else it would have been over those years. It just seems so strange to me now that I'm actually getting film photography back. Well, yeah, my film photography consisted of point and click cameras in the past. But, I didn't get into photography until after digital really came about. But now that I am, I have this, and I can't do it. I guess they have kits you can buy, these little things to develop the film yourself. I'm looking into that because that's probably much quicker. But then you have to scan the negatives. And there seem to be several ways to do that I'm looking into the possibilities of. They have expensive scanners that you can get. I think I saw one of the cheaper options was like $300 to $600 for something that would be adequate to scan the negatives. Other people, they've done things as cheap as taking one cell phone with a light behind it, like just have a white screen, put the negatives over top of it, held in place by something, I don't know what, and then take a toilet paper tube and put their phone over top and take pictures of the negatives. I feel like that's probably not going to result in the highest resolution images possible. Just my thoughts. Somebody else had this rig set up where they were using no, I don't have that available. Something like this, a DSLR or an SLR, no, not an SLR. What would happen with that if you took negatives of the negatives? That's a stupid idea. I think that would be something that would irritate someone to no end. But just take pictures of the negatives, load it up onto the computer, do stuff with it to make your photos, and I guess then you're back to digital, except with film, which should have interesting colors, I suspect. But developing it on your own, it sounds like is probably going to be the best option because there's no photo lab anywhere around here. Maybe there is. I saw something, but the fact that they don't have a website tells me the listing is probably ancient and they don't exist anymore. So, well, I'll figure it out. I don't think I'm going to have that problem solved in the near term, but I could take, because I have film now, not that. I have film. It's not the best film. It's just Fuji whatever film, the stuff that they have at Walmart, because if you want to get good film, you have to order it on the internet, apparently. But, I could take photos now. The camera is working. I've cleaned it up. But then to develop them, I couldn't send the film off knowing I'm not going to get the negatives. I couldn't do it. Just no way. So that's not going to happen. I either have to find a place where I can send it off to be developed where they're going to send me the negatives, or I'm going to have to get one of those canisters and the chemicals and all that stuff and do it myself. Some of you watching may have some experience. I'd be curious what you do if you develop it yourself, if you've set up your own sort of light room in your home. How do you go about doing that? It's something that I never would have imagined myself doing because, in the past, even at Walmart, you take your stuff there, they give you the negatives with the film. I probably have negatives somewhere of pictures I took long, long ago. But, I really don't want to lose those. That's the whole point, is getting those negatives so that I can do amazing things with it on the computer. But, I'd be curious what you're doing. And with that, I'm going to go out and take photos with this camera that I'm not going to know how they turned out until, well, probably a long time from now. But when I do get them back, I guess I'll show them to you guys, and we'll see how it worked out. I don't know, I don't know how this is going to work with the exposure settings and all of that. I have a rough idea of how to use it. I mean, it's got this little lollipop thing and then a needle, and you're supposed to align them, and that's, I guess, the correct exposure. There's also the little dial on the top where you set what ISO your film is. In this case, the only thing that Walmart has is 400 ISO. So good for all situations, it says, which means it's probably the most terrible looking greenish tinted color imaginable. I always found that Fuji came out kind of greenish when back in the day, I'd take pictures with the whatever camera. They'd always come out that way with this kind of film. But on the computer I can change that. Anyway, I'm going to go out and take photos and see how this thing holds up after a few months when I get the photos back. Well, now I guess all I've got to do is get out and take some photos. I don't know when the photos will actually be available to show you guys, but eventually they will, and we'll see how it worked. This will be fun to figure out in a very slow fashion. I'll see you guys in the next one. ไฟพะวงหลงเฝ้าสาวเจ้าบางปะกงหางหวยงงหลงเกอหาโอเวรกรรมจำพรากใจ